a TARDIS before?
Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another Doctor Who theory video. This is technically kind of a part 2, you don't have to watch part 1, but you could go and watch part 1 at the end of this video, because they're two separate theories on the same thing. Like, this character here, I think I know who she is, and I've said so in part 1, and I'll say the other person she could possibly be in this video, so stay tuned, subscribe, don't miss out, Doctor Who content everywhere. But today, I'm here to ask you the question, is the TARDIS dying again? Is there something majorly wrong with the TARDIS, or is the TARDIS, in fact, evil? Is the TARDIS going to be the villain, or the big villain, or the overarching villain of Season 1? The new big bad for Doctor Who's latest and greatest season is the TARDIS. Why am I thinking that? Well, stick with me in this video because I'm going to explain everything. Let's take it from the top. The title sequence of this new era. The TARDIS is whizzing through, and there's weird little sparks coming off the bottom of it. Now, you could just assume this is like the TARDIS surfing over the time vortex, but Russell T Davies himself has mentioned in Doctor Who Unleashed, the behind-the-scenes sister show of Doctor Who, to pay attention to that, because it becomes important later. This is our first hint that there's something wrong with the TARDIS. Why are sparks flying off it? What's going on? I don't know, but just bear that in mind. Then, we get to the Starbeast, the first episode of this new era, where it may just be Russell's writing, so sorry if it is Russell, but there's coincidence after coincidence after coincidence, which are kind of loosely explained in the giggle as, oh, well, the TARDIS landed next to Donna because the Doctor wanted to come home. What if there's a more sinister reason behind it? I guess. The TARDIS is kind of being controlled, maybe by itself or a third-party source, but does spilling coffee on it really cause it to go haywire, go back to Isaac Newton, and then go back to the Knock Things spaceship from Wild Blue Yonder? No. I don't think so. I think that either it's a conscious choice from the TARDIS, or it's an external force controlling the TARDIS to kind of make it evil, but it's no coincidence that the TARDIS ends up changing history with Gravity to Mavity. This woman here, Miss Meridew, was never seen by the Doctor, but she was there, hidden, waiting. Maybe she's the one who waits. I talked about this in part 1, so go and find that video for that explanation. But let's say that this woman, Miss Meridew, is the one who waits. She's cropping up at various different points in time. Present day England, 1566, 1066, who knows? She's everywhere. She has been waiting and watching the Doctor from afar for a very long time. The TARDIS goes mental, and she is sort of pushing time to give it Mavity to Gravity, not doing much, just making little changes here and there. Then she crops up again in the church on Ruby Road, where she asks Ruby's band to play Gaudete Te, which is the old, 15th century song, I think written in 1582. Gaudete Te means rejoice. Either this woman is the one who waits, and she's been waiting all this time, or, go with me on this, she's like the TARDIS. She travels to these time periods, just like the Doctor. Maybe she has her own TARDIS, or maybe I'm mental, but maybe she is the TARDIS. Why do I think that? Well, 1, we've seen the TARDIS in human form before. We know it's possible. It's within the lore of the show. The TARDIS can take on human form. And 2, let's look at yesterday's trailer. S-Triad technology. What's Triad technology? Well, it was mentioned first in the giggle by former companion Melanie Bush, who now works for UNIT. She says that the systems of UNIT are working on Triad technology. We've also seen it cropping up in various filming photos. Those are kind of leaked. We know that Triad technology is something important. Now, S-Triad, let's go with Susan Triad. S-Triad, that's an anagram. Think about it. Rearrange the letters of S-Triad and you get TARDIS. S-Triad, Susan Triad, TARDIS. Is she maybe the TARDIS? I mean, that's not quite enough to go on, is it? That's a little bit flimsy, a little bit weak. So, if the TARDIS was to become a human, what would happen to the box itself? Well, it would wither away and die, just like we've seen in the trailer. Let's say that the TARDIS's consciousness has either willingly turned evil or been manipulated to turn evil, and it's left the box, gone into human form. It would leave the exterior of the TARDIS just like we see in the trailer. Alone, abandoned, and with non-naturally growing, placed flowers to sort of memorialise it. Maybe this is the Doctor's memorial, or maybe this is this is the dead TARDIS. The Doctor can't figure out why it's dead. The soul of the TARDIS is gone. And maybe, as I say, it's transferred into this woman. Now, after coming up with this theory, I did also see a kind of spin-off of this theory, which I'm going to mention, from Josh Carr over on Twitter. It's a fantastic little idea. I don't know how plausible it is. I don't know how plausible any of this is. If we're being realistic, she's probably not the TARDIS. It's just a fun idea to think about. But what if the TARDIS splits into two friendly old women? One being Mrs. Flood.
Never seen a TARDIS before.
Maybe the good side of the TARDIS, the good part of the TARDIS, is Mrs. Flood. Maybe the bad part of the TARDIS is Susan Triad. That could be really, really fun. Josh mentions that it's almost like the White Guardian and Black Guardian from classic Who. I think they were seen in the 5th Doctor's era, with like tempting Turlough and everything. But maybe it's something like that. That could be quite fun, having like two seemingly friendly old women be the TARDIS's sort of Jekyll and Hyde split personality, and actually having the Doctor confront and face off against the TARDIS would be such a cool idea. It's also welcoming and inviting for new audiences just as much as it is for hardcore fans, and it doesn't rely on the fan service of having to bring back a favourite classic character like, oh, she's the Master, or something along those lines. That's not to say it won't be, because it's Doctor Who. You can always have a dramatic Master reveal. But I think there is something in this theory, like her name being T-S Triad TARDIS, it's almost a bit too... Do you know what I mean? There's got to be something behind this. She's a time traveller. She's meddling with time. She's got the initials of the TARDIS, and she's facing the Doctor, and we've been warned about the Toymaker's legions, and the one who waits. It's her. Also, the shameless fourth wall break of Mrs. Flood, drawing attention to the TARDIS? I mean, come on. Let me know your theories in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please do remember, as ever, to like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill, and goodbye.